Self-defense. It's just two words, but it can make the difference between a murder conviction and what we just saw in Florida, a man being set free after killing a 17-year-old. Now, some in Indiana think the Hoosier state needs to make a change in its self-defense law. News 10's Michael Klaus spoke with a local prosecutor and an area representative. He joins us now live in the studio. Michael?
Patrice, the law here in Indiana is known as stand your ground. It allows a person to use deadly force against an attacker, and most importantly, it states that an individual does not need to retreat.
Quite frankly, let down.
Vigo County Prosecutor Terry Modisett is one of a few attorneys who has first-hand experience with Indiana's stand your ground law. He looked at a case where a homeowner shot and injured two people accused of breaking into that man's house.
The whole intent is that if you think someone's going to harm you seriously or kill you, you should have a right to protect yourself.
The tricky wording in the law is if a person reasonably believes they're in danger, something that can be extremely difficult to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt.
They have to almost go into that person's head and decide what reasonably should they have thought or believed at the time in taking whatever action they took.
And it's hard to recreate that.
It is. It really is.
Now, the case with George Zimmerman is leaving at least one Hoosier representative calling for the law to be reviewed next legislative session. Democrat Clyde Kersey agrees there needs to be discussion when an incident like this happens, no matter where it takes place.
When there's something like this comes up in another state, I think it's our responsibility to look at what our law calls for and whether we need to make some changes in it.
It's important to note that the charges filed for a self-defense incident are determined strictly by the prosecutor. That would be Modisett. Now, Modisett says that he will only go after a charge that he thinks is just and attainable, even admitting that he thought murder was too strong of a charge in the Zimmerman case. Patrice.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Michael. It is also important to note the stand your ground law was never used in Zimmerman's case. A self-defense statute was. Now, we want to know what you think. We've posted the question on our Facebook page. Let us know by commenting your thoughts.